Hello, little friends. Today, I want to tell you about Bebi, a small, independent duckling. Bebi lives in the blue pond, a pond with crystal clear water that sparkles like glass and is surrounded by beautiful flowers. Bebi isn't like other ducks who always cling to their mother. Bebi loves to try new things on her own. Every morning, Bebi flaps her wings, hops around on the edge of the pond, and swims by herself, watching the cute little fish. "Ah, today is going to be fun," Bebi says with a big smile. The blue pond is beautiful. There are white lotus flowers, shady trees whose leaves sway in the breeze, and a few fish that like to play underwater. All the animals in the pond know each other, but Bebi has her own way of playing. She doesn't always join her friends because Bebi likes to explore on her own. One bright morning, Bebi sees the sunlight dancing on the surface of the water. Bebi decides to swim to a part of the pond she's never been to before. That sounds like something fun to explore there," Bebi murmured. Bebi began to dive, swinging her legs and enjoying the cool water of the blue pool. She felt free, but also a little scared because she had never swum that far alone. "It's okay, I can do it," Bebi said softly, trying to encourage herself. But as Bebi swam further, she didn't realize that a small current in the pool was pulling her away from where she had been. She swam and swam until she couldn't see the edge anymore. Bebi felt confused and a little scared. She tried swimming this way and that, but the blue pool was too wide for her alone. "Oh my, where is my home?" Bebi began to feel anxious. Suddenly, Bebi heard a very familiar sound. Quack, quack! It was Bebi's own voice. But it wasn't an ordinary sound. It sounded like a term of endearment from her friends. Bebi stopped swimming for a moment, listening. "Who's calling me?" Bebi murmured. The sound came again, clearer this time. Quack, quack! Bebi, Bebi! Bebi smiled. He knew that the sound was how his friends had found him. Bebi began swimming, following the sound. "Ah! I'll definitely see my friends again," Bebi exclaimed excitedly. And as he swam closer, he saw the silhouettes of his friends at the edge of the pool calling out to him. "Bebi! Bebi!" they cheered. Bebi felt happy and warm. He learned something important that day. Even though he was independent, the love of friends and family can always guide us back. Bebi eventually swam faster and reunited with his friends at the blue pool. All the animals were happy to see Bebi safely back. "Thank you, your quack quack sounds. I'm so happy to see you again," Bebi said with a big smile. And from that day on, Bebi remained independent, but he was no longer afraid of being separated because he knew that love was always there to guide him back. Hello, friends! Now we continue the story of Bebi, the independent little duck. After his first experience swimming far alone, Bebi became braver, but also more cautious. One morning, Bebi woke up with sparkling eyes. "Today, I'm going to explore another part of the blue pond," he said, flapping his wings. Bebi began to swim slowly, gazing at the water sparkling in the sunlight. Near the edge, white lotus flowers danced, and a few small fish jumped from the surface. Bebi greeted them in his sweet voice. "Hello, little fish. How are you today?" The fish seemed happy. They swam around Bebi as if saying, "Hello, Bebi." As Bebi swam further into the center of the pond, he saw a large, beautiful rock. The rock jutted out from the water's surface, and around it were bright yellow water flowers. "Wow, I've never been here before," Bebi murmured in awe. "This looks like a fun place to explore." Suddenly, Bebi heard a soft voice from behind the rock. "Hello? Who is it?" Bebi was a little surprised, but politely replied, "Hello, I'm Bebi. I'm just swimming around in the blue pond." From behind the rock emerged a small goldfish with sparkling fins. "I'm Lily," said the fish. "I just moved to the blue pond and I'm feeling a little scared alone." Bebi smiled warmly. "Don't worry, Lily. I like swimming alone too, but I can be your friend. I can play with you in the pond." Lily looked delighted. She began swimming beside Bebi. "Thank you, Bebi. I'm happy to have a friend," said Lily. Bebi was happy to help Lily feel safe. They swam together, playing among the water flowers and small rocks. Sometimes they competed to swim. Sometimes they dived to see other small fish. After playing for a while, Bebi started to feel thirsty and wanted to return to the edge of the pond. "But I have to be careful not to get lost again," Bebi muttered. As they swam home, a small current suddenly appeared in the pool. Bebi remembered their previous experience and immediately called out to Lily, "Hold my tail, Lily. Let's swim together." They swam slowly with the current, keeping each other safe. Bebi felt warm inside, knowing that love and care can make friends feel safe. And finally, they reached the edge of the pool. Lily smiled with relief. "Thank you, Bebi. I'm glad I could swim with you. You're so kind," Lily said. Bebi smiled broadly. "Being independent is good, but sometimes friends are important too," Bebi murmured softly. As the sun began to rise, Bebi and Lily sat on the edge of the pool, enjoying the warm rays. They both promised to always look out for each other, and Bebi felt happy to share their love with a new friend. And as the day ended, Bebi learned something else. Adventures are more fun when we can share love with friends. Hello, friends! Now we continue the story of Bebi, the independent little duck. That day, Bebi and Lily were playing in the blue pond. "Lily, let's swim to the red lotus flower over there," Bebi said enthusiastically. "Okay, Bebi," Lily replied, and they began to swim together. The water glistened in the sunlight, and the plopping sounds of small fish could be heard all around them. Bebi was delighted. He loved exploring ponds, but this time he was too excited. Without realizing it, Bebi was swimming faster than Lily. "Hey, wait for me, Bebi," Lily shouted. Bebi, who was enjoying looking at the water flowers, suddenly realized, "Oh, where's Lily?" he muttered. Bebi spun around, trying to find his new friend, but Lily was nowhere to be seen. The pond water felt wider than before, and Bebi was starting to feel a little scared. I need to calm down," Bebi said, flapping his wings. "I can find Lily. I just have to think." Bebi swam in various directions, trying to remember the way home, but everything looked the same. Lotus flowers, small rocks, sparkling water. Bebi began to worry. "Why do I always get separated?" Bebi muttered. He felt scared, but also wanted to stay brave. Suddenly, Bebi heard a very familiar voice. "Quack! Quack! Bebi! Bebi!" It was the voice that had helped Bebi before. The voice was soft but clear, as if saying, "Come on, Bebi, don't be afraid. Follow me." Bebi smiled slightly. "Ah, that voice. I remember. It's my friends' voices." Carefully, Bebi began to swim, following the voice. He swam slowly, thinking about every sound he heard in the pool. It turned out to be coming from the edge of the pool, where Lily and several other friends were calling him. "Bebi! Bebi! Here!" The voices of his friends became clearer. Bebi swam faster, his heart feeling warm and relieved. He learned something else. When we're afraid, the sound of love can soothe our hearts and guide us back to safety. Finally, Bebi met Lily by the pond. Lily smiled with relief and hugged Bebi with her little wings. "Bebi, I'm so glad you're okay. Lily said. Baby smiled and said softly, "It turns out, even though I'm independent, I don't need to be afraid. Friends and love can always help me get back on my feet." The two of them sat by the pond, enjoying the warm sunshine and listening to the soothing sound of the water. Baby learned something important that day. Being independent is great, but love always makes us stronger. And from that day on, Baby was no longer afraid of being separated because he knew the voices of friends and love could always guide him back to safety. Hello, little friends! Now we continue the story of Bebi the independent duck and Lily the goldfish, who has just become Bebi's friend. After their separate experiences, Bebi and Lily learned something important. Togetherness is safer and more fun. Today, we're going to play in the blue pond, but we have to stay together, okay, Lily? Bebi said with a smile. Okay, Bebi, I promise I won't swim too far, Lily replied. They began to swim slowly, looking at the colorful water flowers. Around them, a few small fish swam along, and a few small frogs hopped around the edge of the pond. Look, Lily, there are red and yellow lotus flowers over there. We can swim slowly among them, Bebi said, swinging his legs. They swam slowly, keeping each other in line. Sometimes Bebi swam in front, sometimes Lily, so they could still see each other. I was scared alone before, but now I feel safe because I'm here with you, Bebi, Lily said softly. Bebi smiled warmly. And I'm happy too, Lily. Playing together makes everything more fun, Bebi said. They played jumping around in the water, diving briefly to look at small fish, and sometimes competing to swim slowly. But this time, they always called out to each other and made sure they didn't get separated. Hold on a minute, Lily. I want to pick this yellow lotus, Bebi said as he swam to it. Okay, Bebi, I'll wait here, Lily replied. Bebi picked the flower, but didn't forget to turn around and check on Lily, making sure his new friend was safe. They laughed together, and the pond water glistened as the sunlight hit its surface. As the sun began to rise, Bebi said, "You know, Lily, I learned something today. Independence is great, but friends are even greater because friends make us feel safe and happy." Lily nodded in agreement. Yes, Bebi, I've also learned that playing together is more fun. We can help and take care of each other. They sat on the edge of the pool, touching each other's fins and tiny wings, enjoying the warm sunshine. Bebi smiled and said softly, "Friendship is like the water of the blue pool, sometimes calm, sometimes wavy, but it always leaves us feeling warm inside." They both laughed, swam a little longer, and then returned to the poolside, carrying the lotus flowers they had found. That day, Bebi and Lily felt very happy, and from then on, they always played together, took care of each other, and shared their love. They learned that friendship makes us stronger, braver, and happier. Hello, little friends. We have now reached the end of the story of Bebi, the independent duck, and Lily, his best friend, the goldfish. That day, the blue pond looked more beautiful than usual. The sun was shining warmly, the water flowers were blooming beautifully, and several small fish were jumping on the surface of the water. All the animals in the pond were gathered, ready to play together. Bebi and Lily swam to the middle of the pond with smiles. I'm so happy today, Lily. We can play with all our friends in the blue pond, said Bebi. Yes, Bebi, I'm happy too. Now I feel safe and happy because you and the other friends are here, replied Lily. They began playing all the animals' favorite games in the pond. Some swam fast, some dived, and some jumped around the edge. Bebi always kept his friends together, just as his friends always looked out for him. While playing, Bebi saw another group of little ducks trying to cross the pond. "Don't be afraid, I'll accompany you," said Bebi. Bebi swiftly swam beside them, making sure they reached the edge of the pool safely. Lily also helped, swimming alongside the small fish who had just moved into the blue pool. "We're all friends. We have to look out for each other," Lily said cheerfully. Bebi smiled warmly. She knew that independence was great, but sharing love with friends made everything even more beautiful. After playing all day, they all sat by the pool, enjoying the warm sunshine. Bebi said quietly, "The blue pool feels so beautiful when we're together. I've learned that love and friendship make hearts warm and brave." All her friends agreed. They smiled and laughed. Even the small fish jumped, as if celebrating. Bebi looked over at Lily, her ever-present friend. "You know, Lily, I'm glad I can explore alone, but I'm also glad I have friends who are always there for me and take care of me," Bebi said. Lily smiled back with a big smile. "I'm happy too, Bebi. Friends are important, especially when we're playing and learning new things." The sun began to set, coloring the sky a warm orange. Bebi, Lily, and all her friends at the blue pool sat together at the edge of the water. They touched each other's wings, fins, and tiny tails, feeling each other's affection. Bebi smiled, feeling happy and at peace. "I learned a lot today. Independence is great, adventure is fun, but love and togetherness make everything even more beautiful." And from that day on, the blue pool has always been a place where Bebi, Lily, and the rest of their friends played happily, looked out for each other, and shared affection. Friends, remember, like Bebi and Lily, we can be independent, but the love of friends and family always makes us feel safe, warm, and happy.